when I was in my 30s, I would always have the 40s and 50 somethings, right? They would like predict my physical timeline and man, when you get here, you're gonna have to worry about this and this is gonna happen. And unknowingly, a lot of the injuries that I have now I had before, right? Like I herniated my disc in like 2004. I was a squatter, a deadlifter doing my thing, and I just messed up, right? I didn't listen to my body. Form had slipped, and so did that disc. The shoulder injuries and all this other stuff. I found out in 2009 about issues that I have on my feet, the collapsed arches or whatever, and that ultimately just it trickles up. But I would always have that, man, when I went to the gym. How old are you, man? I'm 34, 35. Man, hey, when you get 40, they will warn you. They'll be like this. That's all I would hear. And yeah, man. And here I am now, 45. I'll be 46 in like 2 weeks, 13 days. Now the 50s and the 60 somethings are telling me the exact same thing. They might be right? Because I don't know. I can't predict the future. I do know that don't ever try to put your finger on my effort. And some of these cats I've known over the years, man. And it's the oddest thing because at my age, when you're telling me that, you didn't look like I did. You weren't in the shape that I was in. And I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just trying to prove a point. You got to pay attention to that stuff. One of my biggest flaws, and I have a lot of them, trust me, we all do, right? Is I don't pay attention to it as soon as I should. And by the time I understand that some things are shade and they're not just like friendly jokes. Because I joke, if you know me personally, 90% of the time, like I'm serious about my goals and what I need to do for me. And I can focus in on I can drown out noise. But I have to have a sense of humor. I think the military taught me that. Plus where I grew up. Like when you grow up in like LA, Compton, Long Beach, you got to be able to fight. Kind of. And if you can't, you got to be able to bag. We called it bag, like joke, right? And I was quick when it came to jokes. Had some hands too. I had some hands, little shoulder, right? But yeah, I don't catch it like I should. So when people are just constantly like trying stuff and saying stuff and shading, by the time I catch it, I'm done with you. I have no dealings with you anymore. Like I don't understand that. And the reason is because I'm the type of cat, I only really deal with like 5 people that I'm real like close with. We can text, we can call. I really call. I don't really like talking on the phone like that. But I'm just saying like, if I'm doing something that's a goal, I'm gonna send it to one of them 5. We're gonna talk about it. And that's because I'm kind of spun up on what goes on. A lot of y'all provide that to me on Facebook. I know what's going on with every celebrity and and I'll see it. And that's enough to fill up that tank. Outside of that, when it comes to things that I don't think is possible, once I make it happen, I'm gonna send it to one of those 5. And it's vice versa. When I first got out on the stairs, I sent it to my boy Ben. I said, yo, try the stairs, man. And he was like, how are they? I said, they're the worst thing I ever felt in my life. Go for it, right? He kind of laid out the foundation for the doctorate. And then I passed that information on to my boy Jones. Hey, he was like, man, I'm about to get a second master's. I said, nah, I got 3. I'm telling you, go for the doctorate. Here's how, right? That's why it's just a certain amount of people. It's kind of hard to have, 5 is a lot, but it's kind of hard to have a group of people that's doing that type of stuff because everybody is caught up in other things. I know for a fact that I will have, the same volume of friendships that I had back in the day, much more social media engagement, if I was on here talking about nonsense. Real. If I got on social media and I was just like, hey, well, if I say, hey, man, this team sucked, right? This is the worst team ever, man. And I purposely, knowing that it might be somebody else's team, if I talked about the Cowboys or whatever I see, people would be like, oh, man, they would come in, like, Mike, chill, that's not your lane, man. Right? If I posted the most recent celebrity gossip or mugshot, We get a lot more likes and clicks or whatever. But I am, in a good way, about me. Because I have to be. Because I'm not the smartest, I'm not the strongest, I'm not the fastest. But I know that I want things. I know that I want to do better in life, especially amongst everything that's going on out there that's impacting my life. I got to try to find a way to stay ahead. And if I can't stay ahead, try to withstand all that stuff that's happening. So I do prioritize my health. I do. It is very important to me. And I won't let anybody try to put your finger on my level of discipline and effort. And I don't want to be that person that uses social media as an accountability tool. I'm not saying it doesn't work, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. I'm just not someone that's going to do it. Because like I always say, it can be a very dangerous message. Once you gather a following, that means somebody believes in you. Now, some people just do it by default. You know, you said something that might resonate, and they say, okay, they might say something else that I might be able to relate to. Other people take your story and they latch on to it. And if they can do it, I can do it. And I don't want to let people down like that. Right? I don't want to come on here one day and tell you, man, I'm about to kill it. I done lost all this weight and I'm ready. And then a week later, I'm not doing that. And I did the very things that I know my behind shouldn't have done. And then I get on here and I explain that to you and I justify it. And it's okay. It's okay for you because I failed. I quit. So it's okay for you. I don't want to do that. And that does remove people from you because then you start to wear the hat of who does this, I think I'm all that. Who does this guy think he is? Everybody got struggles, yes. But we also have decisions we can make. It's the simplest thing, to be honest with you, especially as you get older, it's what you're eating. And I choose not to turn myself into a garbage disposal, to be honest with you. I don't do it. I don't want to eat certain things that make me feel all lethargic. And 10 times out of 10, if you're somebody that's dieting, soon as you eat something you know you ain't supposed to eat, you feel it 2 seconds in. That dopamine leading you up to it, that's causing you to make the bad decision to do it, out of control, right? But as soon as you eat it, you come back down to reality. The dopamine fog goes away. You're like, man, I shouldn't have ate that. You're sitting there like this. And I don't want to feel that. So I just don't do it. I'll always share, but I'm not about to let you talk me into some nonsense. You got to look the way I want to look before I listen to you. I don't care how much knowledge you display on social media. It's pretty clear. I've been at this for a while, this working out stuff, and I got the credentials behind it to where I'm my number one client. I know what I should be eating. I know what works for me. I got a whole recovery rehab process that I do, right? That just helps me stay in the game. And you constantly got people that is going to come and tell you what you're going to be 10 years from now when they never were what you are now. Like it's weird.